Welcome back to the Guardian Project podcast. And it's Halloween week. Spooky Guardian Project podcast. And I'm your host, Andy Flory. And I was trying to make a cool Brea costume for Halloween, but it wasn't shaping up like I wanted it to.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's fantastic. And I'm your co-host, Mike Coyle. And just like Oko, I'm painfully relevant in every format but Popper.
Yes.
Please listen carefully.
And this is the podcast where we talk about all things Magic the Gathering. Oh, man. I did not like that old vinegar. Oh, Oko's the worst.
I know.
But I thought I worked really hard on mine. I was really excited about that. I was like, the shaping up. This is so good.
Puns are my favorite. Puns are the best.
I know. My husband likes them too.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about this week?
This week we are going to be talking about some of the brand new Commander products.
Spoiled today.
Yeah.
Not spoiled, I guess.
Well,
announced.
Yeah, they got announced today for the 2020 year. We're also going to be talking about a lot of subjects regarding CommandFestChicago that Andy and I are attending this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of the special formats for the weekend and give you maybe some tips and tricks on how you can build your decks to optimize for those specific rule sets.
Yeah, and then we're going to have a fun segment at the end. And
Commander Decks Explained Badly is back. It's only been like 9 weeks.
By popular demand.
Yes.
At least by us.
I mean, by us. And I know we have at least one follower who sent us a bunch of suggestions as well. So thank you, JC. I will probably use one of those today.
Woo.
So Commander Products 2020.
Yeah. So released today, there was a Command Zone video with Gavin Verhey, right? Mm-hmm. And he talked about all the new Commander products that they are going to be releasing in 2020.
And there's a lot of them.
There's so many.
Take my money.
I mean, I buy at least like one of every Commander deck.
Yeah, we always buy the precons, and then one of us keeps the precons put together, and then the other one builds a bunch of decks and we share. Like you played my Marisi deck. You talked about that last week,
yep.
But you've got, I think, all the precons from this last one.
This one
still.
And I actually have like 2 sets of the previous one, the Planeswalker one.
Oh, okay.
And I want to sleeve that up and play it because I never got an opportunity to.
We should just make a video of it and we'll put it online.
Everyone was pretty underwhelmed by that, and then this last Commander set they knocked out of the park. So, I mean, with these new sets in 2020, they are saying that they're going to be on theme with the standard set that they're being released with. So, at least with some of the mechanics. So Ikoria will be the first set that we see, and that's going to have 5 Commander decks released alongside with it.
5 precons. So that's like the normal one for the normal release time throughout the year, correct? I believe that one is during the summer.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, quarter 2.
Yeah. Quarter 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's around the time, I guess, just before when we would normally get the precons, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
It might be a little early, but
sure.
But yeah.
Well, more info on why coming up in now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right now. Tell us why. Because we're also getting 2 decks later in the year.
So with the following set that's being released,
Zendikar Rising.
Standard, Zendikar Rising, we're gonna get 2 more precons.
And then they're going to break that up a little bit, and they're going to do a Commander Collection Green, which is a reprint, a set of reprints, kind of like a spell book, but just green Commander cards. So we talked about this on the drive over here to record, and I mean, we're hoping for like a Court of Calling.
There will be. It has to be.
Craterhoof Behemoth.
Yeah, they probably need to do that.
I mean, are we going to get an Azusa in this one? I mean,
it's at least Azusa related, right?
Well, we know that, right?
Yeah.
Because there was the Azusa crown thing on that one creature they talked about on the video today with Gavin.
Yes.
What other cards in green do we want? Oh, another doubling season. That'd probably be good. Battle Bomb was the last one that we got, right?
Yeah, Battle Bomb was the last one. But, there have been token doublers that we haven't seen reprinted yet. I think
Parallel Lives?
Parallel Lives.
Has that never been reprinted?
I don't think it has, and the Primal Vigor has only been printed in the Pros precon as well.
Yeah, it's a precon. But does anybody want that one? Everybody wants the doubling season. Is what they really want.
I mean, if you're a token deck, you want those cards. If you're playing against a token deck, well, who knows if you're playing against a token deck or not.
Sure. Do we think we're going to get a Sylvan library here?
I thought about that too. It would be smart. That product, they haven't released an MSRP, and they don't have MSRP anymore.
Right.
But a Sylvan library, a Crater Hoof, all these things, they're really going to either make these cards affordable or this product is going to be expensive.
Yeah, Parallel Lives is only from Innistrad, so it's never been reprinted ever. And that's a good card. I mean, it's used in all your token decks.
Yeah.
It does the effect of doubling season, except for the counters on the creatures. It just doubles the creatures. So
right.
And then, but wait, there's more.
Oh yeah.
There's 2 more precons coming next year as well to bring it up to a nice 9.
Yeah, when you have your 9-player commander pod.
Oh, I've done a 6. It's not fun. I've done a 5. I prefer 4.
Yeah, 4 is the best.
4 is the best.
Mm-hmm.
But we get 2 more precons alongside the set Commander Legends.
So people, when Battle Bond got released, went, oh, this is like Master Commanders. Well, welcome to real Master Commanders.
And it's a draftable set.
Which is interesting. I've never drafted a commander deck before. Apparently it is a thing.
I was reading online, some people were talking about it with cubes.
Yeah.
And they have cards that you draft from a cube, and then you have to put them into a commander deck.
Yeah.
Seems really fun.
It does.
But I think they said there's going to be 20 card packs.
Mm-hmm.
And some people were saying that if you have to draft to make the deck, I don't know if it's that you draft and you add cards to a precon or some base deck, or if you have to draft 100% of it, but you'd have to draft at least 6 packs to get 100 cards.
Right.
But if it depends on how many cards there are in that pool, because you have to have enough singleton cards.
Right.
So I wonder if are there going to be like 5,000 cards in that set, and you draft 20 at a time and hope to not get doubles?
We know there's at least 70 legendaries in that set.
And there's one foil per pack guaranteed
and
in
2
that.
And 2 legendaries per pack.
So, I mean, I wonder how big that card pool is. It seems really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to draft that for sure.
Yeah, we're playing it. For sure.
Probably more than once.
I mean, that combines like 2 of your favorite types, right?
Draft and Commander.
Yeah.
The other one's Cube. So those are my 3 main formats there.
You got them all.
I mean, we could also then stick them in a cube to use them later.
Yeah, we just make a cube out of it immediately.
Immediately, this is now a cube. So we have a lot of stuff coming next year. So take my money, and that's on top of whatever ancillary products and standard sets come out next year, which I know I'm excited for Theros.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for Ikoria, building monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going back to Zendikar.
Yeah. That'll be fun. That was in standard when I started playing.
Oh, Battle for Zendikar was still
BFC.
legal.
Yep.
You started during Almond Cat?
Yeah, the good old almond cat.
The good old Almond Cat. So yeah, so that's that for Commander, but continuing on theme for Commander, this weekend is CommandFestChicago, and we're both going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. We're leaving on Halloween night to drive there because we're like 4 hours out of Chicago, so we didn't want to have to get up super early to be there Friday morning.
Yeah, that would be painful.
Painfully early. So we're going to be in Chicago all weekend. So we'll be there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday playing games, open play. We do have the 3-day badge, so we're going to play in a bunch of the unique events that are special to these Command Fests
that we may have never played in before.
Yeah, we have never played. I've never played in these before. Some of them are old formats that, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people play, but we just have never done it. And then some I think are brand new that seem really interesting to play. And we're hoping that if the rules are easy enough to understand, that we can actually take these back home and continue to play them.
Yeah. So being obsessed Commander players ourselves, we were trying to look through these formats and see some tips and tricks, things that we should mold our decks around in order to play these special formats.
And then hopefully they help you. And the episode will be out a few days, obviously, before the event. And not everybody's going for 3 days. So if you're only coming on Saturday or Sunday, hopefully some of these tips help you to add some cards to your deck if there's a specific format that you want to play.
Now, Command Fest Seattle is also happening this weekend.
Same exact weekend.
So if you're going to Seattle...
This also helps, hopefully.
We hope.
You might know more than us. And then if you do, leave a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube, or tweet at us at the end. And we're also going to be posting a few links to some of these rules as we walk through them, because you might not want to listen back to the episode, to that specific spot multiple times to hear the rules.
Right.
But we'll start with the first one.
Yeah. So the first format is Two-Headed Giant. And this is a format that you and I have been talking about at length.
Yes. We play this at all of the pre-releases for the most part.
Yep.
And we're not always very good at it, but it is fun. It is fun sharing a life total and taking your turn at the exact same time. But in Commander, it's a whole different ball game.
Right. So each player takes their turn at the same time, and you share a turn. So
you share a turn and a life total.
So I know, Andy, you have built at least 3 decks, I think,
that no one likes but me.
Right, because what do you do with those decks?
I take extra turns.
And so in the Two-Headed Giant format, Andy taking an extra turn means
that my partner also just gets an extra turn with me.
Oh, thank you.
So the plan here is I play it. We're going to do this at least once. And we might only do it once if it's horrible. If it's horrible and we realize it's really not fun for anyone, we won't do it again. But I am going to play a mono blue take extra turns deck, while Coyle plays whatever deck that it is that he thinks he can just win with if I give him like 6 extra turns.
Choices being Gitrog combo, Curate combo.
We're not going to bring Kess because that's mean.
Well, because Kess shares blue. So another thing about Two-Headed Giant, I guess we forgot to mention, was that you have a shared card pool the same way that a constructed team event would at like a modern event.
Yes.
So you cannot share any of the same cards in your libraries besides basic lands.
True.
So I have a Demonic Consultation Kess combo deck that I like to play when I go into competitive, which is not very often, but at these events I really like getting into a pot or two at that and seeing how it goes. But since it plays 3 colors and it plays a lot of the really powerful counter spells, it might not be the best deck to play in a Two-Headed Giant.
Right.
It's a one player deck. So, you want to think about using cards in this format like Scheming Symmetry. Scheming Symmetry says pay 1 black. You get to search your library, put a card on top of you, or search your library for a card, put it on top of your library, and target player gets to search their card, or search your library for a card and put it on top. It doesn't say opponent.
I was just looking that up to confirm because I was like, wait, does it say opponent?
Nope.
No, it is you and target player. 2 target players search your library for a card. So I might search for another extra turn.
Yep. And then
so dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Oh, that's so dumb, but I enjoy it.
Now just imagine throwing that under an Isochron Scepter.
I don't run that.
But I could.
But you can't. Oh, Scheming Symmetry, you mean? Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
And this is tutor for any card?
Yeah, it's a black tutor.
So I could grab my Mystic Sanctuary that I can then use. Also, I did post it online, and I'm sure some people aren't going to be thrilled because I did get a lot of comments saying, no, you shouldn't do this. But I had pretty much everything for it. I just threw it together. But it is Moloku, the Clouded Mirror, so you can pay 1, return a land to your hand, and you make an illusion. Well, if you return Mystic Sanctuary to your hand and you play it back down that turn, if you control 3 islands, which you will with the mono blue deck, you can put an instant or sorcery from your graveyard back on top of your library.
Oh yeah.
So you can put the extra turn spell that you just cast back on top of your library, and then you can potentially go infinite. Now, my mono blue deck doesn't have a tutor for a land other than Teleria West. There's ways that I can get to it.
Sure.
If I get to a mystical tutor that can search for this and search for that, sure.
What about Expedition Map?
Expedition Map, I just don't have it yet.
Okay.
That is the one artifact that the deck wants.
Okay.
If you're playing that combo,
Fair.
I just don't have one.
Fair.
Will I get one? Probably, I guess. If that's the real plan for the deck, yes.
Sure.
And the one card, the only extra turn spell that I don't have, I'm hoping to get there if they have the Judge Promo or the Capture of the Jin Shao, because it's just Time Warp, but on a Portal 3 Kingdoms card.
That's right. It's got a different name. Makes it broken.
Makes it that. And I'm counting Narset's Reversal as an extra turn spell, by the way. Because I can cast my extra turn spell, Narset's Reversal it back to my hand, and then I copy that spell. So I just take the turn, and then I have the card in my hand.
Yeah, I mean, it just costs 2 extra mana. It's like a Reverberate.
And I think Narset's Reversal is a mono blue staple now.
Staple.
In my opinion. So you also, in the two-headed giant format, you share a life total. And another card that would be really good is a card that pings each opponent. So if you had a card like Brimstone Trebuchet, which is a new card from Throne of Eldraine that has tap, each opponent takes one damage, or is it it deals 1 damage to each opponent. It would deal 2 to their collective team, not just 1. So that's really good. Any card that would deal damage to each opponent would deal double to them.
And that's one argument for my side of the two-headed giant to play Keurig, because it is a Gray Merchant Reanimator combo deck.
Yes.
So Gray Merchant would be doing double damage as is, which oftentimes you don't need it to.
But if you aren't a monster like us, you can also play a fair deck like Perforos God of the Forge.
Yeah.
So every creature that comes in, Perforos deals 2 damage to each opponent, so they would actually take 4 collectively. So that, combined with cards like Impact Tremors, is really strong, because each opponent would be taking 6 damage then.
What about
each opponent team collectively, I guess.
What about that new red commander that you play?
Torbrand?
Yeah. So then they would take 8 damage every time something comes in.
1, 2, it'd be doubling it. Yeah, they would take 8. If you had Torbrand and Perforos and then played a creature, your opponent's team would take 8.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's actually really, really good.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of unique and fun ways that you can build. There's a lot of degenerate ways that you can build. We're coming with one of each. We're just going to see what we can do.
Yep.
Obviously, we're not going to be playing those decks except for at a table where someone is saying they're playing a bit more competitive. We don't want to come there and just play. We're not there to make someone else not have fun. We're trying to
have fun.
We're trying to have fun too, and we want to see if it works. But we might just test that out at an open play table, two-headed giant as well, because you can just play at the open play table as well.
If I see someone playing Heartless Haitsugu on the other side of the table, we're going to run that, because it's an instant kill.
No,
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
Because each opponent takes damage equal to half their life, but then it's a team, so you take your whole life.
Yep.
Oh.
And it's not opponent, it's each player.
Red seems really good in two-headed giant.
Yeah, it really does. Maybe we need to rethink.
Maybe we should just build red decks.
2 red decks?
Red deck.
No,
because if you
blue,
can't share
red.
mono blue, mono red, that doesn't seem good.
Is it?
Huh? Mono white, mono green?
No.
Mono green.
Green, sure.
Mono white?
No.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But the next format we have is Emperor. So this format is a team format as well. Teams of 3. So 6 people are needed for this, but you can play with 8. You just have to have 2 equal teams, and then you have to do a little bit of adjusting of who's a lieutenant, and then you have like a middle lieutenant then instead of just two regular. But this is 2 teams of 3 who sit on the same side of the table. Each team has an emperor that sits in the middle. The outside players are referred to as generals. You can discuss all your plays as a team, but you cannot share resources like mana or creatures. And then one of the team's emperors starts. You decide just based on like a high roll or however you decide. Rock, paper, scissors. Whoever can get spaghetti to stick to a wall.
I think it'd be pretty good at that.
Getting spaghetti to stick to a wall.
Yeah. Sticky spaghetti.
Sticky spaghetti for first play.
We should
for the play.
We're going to challenge someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You got your spaghetti.
I'll bring it.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
And then after the first emperor starts, the turn order progresses to the left. Not all at one time in this one. It's one person at a time. So in this game, you have something referred to as your range of influence. So it means who you can affect with your spells. So an emperor has a range of influence of 2, which means that their spells and abilities affect only themselves and the players within 2 seats of theirs.
Yep.
So your partners are 1 seat from you, and then the other generals for the other team are next to them.
Yep.
So you can only affect those 2. And so basically at the start of the game, the emperor can affect everyone except the opposing emperor. And then generals have a range of influence of 1. So you have to pretty much beat an opposing general to get into a range of an emperor, no matter what you do.
Right.
You can only attack the other thing is you can only attack an opponent sitting directly next to you. So an emperor can't attack a general until your general has been taken out.
Right.
So obviously if that happens, that's not good for you. But in this game, each player has an individual life total of 20, and there is a special ability that all creatures in this format have.
Right.
So all creatures in this format have the ability to tap it, and target teammate gains control of this creature. Activate only at sorcery speed. So eliminated player rules do exist in this format as well. So if you are eliminated, all of your stuff pretty much disappears.
Right.
But so winning a game requires you to defeat an opposing emperor. The entire team wins if the opposing general is defeated. If you're a general and you are knocked out by someone else's general or an emperor, but your team ends up winning, you're still considered to have won. You're not like sport. Out. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
So we thought this format was significantly more complicated than Two-Headed Giant.
Oh yeah.
But so figuring out this one, there's a few suggestions that we came up with. So one of them is like a combo strategy, right? Yep. So if you play a game where you're looking to just assemble a combo and like playing alone really, as the emperor, lieutenants are fending off the opposing forces. You could see a lot of success if that's what you're trying to do, is just kind of assemble a combo. But as the emperor, you could also play like a support strategy. So you can play a deck that tends to pack a lot of support cards, not the mechanic support, but support cards.
Yep.
But mostly to help out your teammates. So cards that return things to the battlefield that were put there from, this turn, is a good strategy for when your lieutenants lose stuff, or playing combat tricks, I guess, on your lieutenants' creatures. But so cards that I think are going to do well in this are ones that say they do something to each opponent, because you have 3 opponents in this case.
Very true.
So if you wanted to play a card that only affects your opponents, right? Not necessarily burn them like we talked about for Two-Headed Giant, but a card like Fate Spinner, where on each of your opponent's turns, they pick either untap, draw, or combat, and they have to skip one of those.
Oh yeah.
And that's each opponent would have to do that on their turn.
Right.
So like I think you'd really slow someone down
for sure
if you played a card like that. Yeah, no, it's draw, untap. Yeah, draw, untap, or combat. So if anyone else is planning on playing Emperor, let us know what your strategy is, because this was a lot to think about.
Yeah, so I feel like, and the thought literally just came to mind, the fact that you can't directly influence a lot of the players on the board at any point in time, I think that makes world effects like super important.
Yes.
So
because you can't affect the Emperor, which means that you can't be countered.
Right. So
if you're playing a quick combo game and you're the Emperor, no one can counter you, because the lieutenants can only counter the lieutenants. So they have to go real fast to get to an Emperor.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a race game for sure. And I'm assuming it's really combo heavy. That's just
it's gotta be.
That's what I'm assuming. It might not be.
No, I think it has to be. It's combo heavy. It might not even be combat centric, to be honest. It's just combos.
Put up defenses.
Like Perforos again. Like it affects all opponents. It doesn't matter if they're outside of your range of influence, because it's all opponents.
What combo? This one we have not built decks for specifically yet.
Correct.
What combo would you suggest building for this?
I think the Emperor needs to play something quick. That if it doesn't get interrupted is just gonna like win. I think an old mono black Sidisi deck that I had.
Oh, that can tutor and just grab cards?
That you win on turn 4 almost every
time. Oh well,
that's
because you were playing a lot of that deck. Was like $3,000, wasn't it?
It's less expensive than my Kest deck because it plays all the same tutors.
Okay. Still out of the budget for most people. So if we had budget combos that you can get out quickly.
I mean, you could technically do like, I think so. Maybe this isn't a combo deck, but the new King Kenrith, and
he does everything,
and he'll bring creatures back for your teammates from the graveyard. Sure. Give them haste.
You do get 5 colors.
Yeah,
to do all the things you want.
Gain life. I mean, he can control your team and keep your team alive while you're trying to assemble some sort of combo.
Did you know that his mono red, his just 1 red ability is haste and trample?
Yeah.
It's not just haste. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Our mutual friend at our game shop that plays Chair Tribal has him as his commander now, and he convinced me while I was playing, I believe I was playing Ilharg, to kill everyone else on the board, and I will give your stuff haste and trample.
Of course.
Deal.
Chair Tribal. I love that deck. But
That's
also
so
the
cool.
fact that it has haste and trample.
It's for
it
1 red.
It should just be haste. The trample is just the cherry on top.
Oh, for sure. And
it did not need to be there. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've only played against that. I played against that deck twice. We have 2 people at our LGS that play that. One is chairs, and then all cards except the lands have chairs in them, or people sitting in chairs, or chairs doing things.
Yep.
I guess chairs not doing things, just being chairs.
I don't know what card that would. Oh, like a Throne of Geth. That's just a chair without something in it. I don't know if he plays that. Maybe
I think
does.
the creeping there's a scary bookcase, a spooky bookcase, right? There's a bookcase card, and I'm pretty sure that a bookshelf, not a bookcase. Is it a bookcase?
I don't know.
Did I just make up a word?
A bookcase? No, I think
a bookcase is a word, right?
Producer Ryan, is bookcase a word?
Bookcase? It's a bookshelf? It's both.
Well, bookshelf's a thing. Bookcase a word.
Okay. So there's one, and I'm pretty sure next to the bookcase there's a chair.
Oh, perfect.
It was just like a blue spell that lets you like scry or something.
That's wonderful.
And then the other one is a Kenrith humans deck, 5 color humans.
Oh, interesting. I haven't played against that.
Yeah, we played Grand Arbiter Augustin the 4th. And the whole game it was pretty much out because couldn't deal with it. So my stuff was expensive.
But I can't think of a budget combo unless you consider like I'm thinking so Spike right now of all
I know
my
you
combos.
are.
I do that. I'm sorry, but it's like Godo Bandit Warlord. Because if you can take infinite combats, you can kill the lieutenant and then kill the Emperor.
Can't. If you don't have a lieutenant next to you dead, you can't swing.
No, that's why you'll just swing at the lieutenant till he's dead with your infinite combats. And then you swing at the Emperor.
But that means your lieutenant has to be dead.
This is you are a lieutenant. This is if you yourself are a lieutenant.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, sure. That's
if you're the Emperor, you got to play combo or support. I mean, I don't think. I mean, you don't have to, but I think you really should.
Do you just play Moat and Magus of the Moat? Creatures can't attack.
You could play Pillow Fort and make sure that no one else can play Magic the Gathering.
Well, that Pillow Fort doesn't mean that. Pillow Fort can just be that they can't attack you. They can play the rest of the game. They just can't swing at you.
You may draw a card at your draw step.
You can cast the cards.
You can cast them. They'll get countered automatically.
Not in a Pillow Fort deck.
I'm just thinking of your Lavinia deck.
Well, she's just control. She is a little Pillow Forty. What do I run that's Pillow Fort? I guess I do run Propaganda and Ghostly Prison. So I put the defenses up.
And Magus of the Moat.
Magus, but I don't own Moat because I am not rich.
No.
I wish I was.
It's like,
I would own a Moat.
Like, I own a Gitrog deck. Do you have Bazaar of Baghdad? No, I do not.
Nope. I sure don't.
I don't intend to get one.
Well, if you guys can think of any combos for the Emperor format, send them along because we still have a few days and we have a lot of cards. We'd like to put together some fun janky decks because those are the things that you really like to see is the decks that don't get played often, crush a table because no one saw it coming.
Right.
That is the best. The next format is
Chase the Plains.
Chase the Plains, which I'm trying to find the rules on. So all of this stuff you can find it online. The link to CommandFest Chicago with Pastime Games. They have all like rules or links to rules for all of these. This one just says that there's going to be a world effect in play at the start of each round. And it basically it sounds like Plane Chase, without the chaos piece, but that the plane doesn't change every single turn. It's just, this is the one for this round. So it could be a doubling, or like a mana reflection where all mana is doubled, or it could be one that says whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card, or whenever you cast a spell, you draw a card. I'm assuming we're not going to see any of the planes that are like nasty, where like at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to sack a creature, or I think that one is actually you have to planeswalk away or something. But there's a couple that are less friendly.
Yeah, that's the rules we know of. Is it's a thin down plane chase deck.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah,
and hopefully that means they took all the bad cards out and not all the friendly ones. Although that I think would be kind of fun to play. Just the nothing but mean planes.
The mean planes. You can just play with those at the open play. If you have any planes that you suggest we play on, though, or you want to play with us, come find us, because we'll be there in the open play area. And if you want to play some games of Commander or Plane Chase or whatever, we're there all weekend. And we're not from the area, so we're not going to go home at night. No, it's where we are.
We're stuck.
We're stuck in Chicago. Could be worse places though. Chicago's pretty great.
It's gonna snow.
I love snow. I'm happy summer ended.
I like snow when it's not on my driveway.
I drive a Jeep Wrangler, so we go out on the first night of snow. I did that. I told Nick a couple years ago when I got my Jeep. We lived in a city that had a lot of hills, and what
was the city called?
Rochester Hills.
Creative.
Yes. And so we don't live there anymore, but it snowed like a foot of snow. And I said, "You want to go drive?" And he goes, "It just snowed like 12 inches. I said, "But I haven't driven in the snow yet with my 4-wheel drive." And we went around and there were a lot of cars in the ditch. And we both said, "Wow, we feel like jerks because we're just flaunting that we can do this and no one else can."
You were the king in a medieval setting, going through the slums and be like, "Oh, it's bad out here, isn't it?"
Good, yeah. That's a good analogy of what it was. But to be fair, I understood. See, I came from that though, because I was driving a Ford Fiesta.
I remember that.
Before I got my Jeep, so my car was a literal 4 inches off the ground, and if it snowed an inch, I was pretty much stuck. I don't miss that car. It was great on gas mileage, 38 miles per gallon.
You can't beat that.
And now I'm down to 14.
Well, but you can drive in the snow. Worth it.
And I can take the top off, but I didn't this year. It was either super hot or it was cold and rainy. So I didn't have that middle time to go drive around Jeep or take my doors off, which that I don't know if I want.
Well, it's a Jeep thing.
You gotta do the Jeep wave. 3 fingers up.
That's what the Jeep wave is.
And I will tell you, every Jeep Wrangler you drive by, they are waving. You always be waving. Oh, that is how it works in a Jeep, because they look at you. I've had people throw their arm out the window. I've had people just do a nod. But normally it's your right hand's on the wheel and you bring up all but your ring finger and your pinky. So those 3 fingers and you just, like a quick little flick of the 3 fingers. Yeah, I'm in the club.
Wow.
Yeah, hey, dude. Sup, brah?
I had no idea that Jeep Wrangler owners were that.
To be fair, I didn't know it was going to be that. And now I don't even notice that I do it. I always see like the grill of the Jeep coming. Yeah. And sometimes I'll have, I don't do it last second. My fingers are just up.
Yeah.
And Nick and I are just all the time now. Wow. Yeah. It's a lot of Jeeps we live by.
Yeah.
You don't realize how many of the same car you live by until you wave at all of them.
I do.
Oh, because you drive an Equinox.
Everyone has an Equinox here. Literally everybody.
I don't.
No, you don't count.
But you can also drive in the snow, right?
It is
Do you have 4-wheel drive?
It is a 2-wheel front-wheel drive.
Rear-wheel drive is way different.
Yeah.
I turn on my 4-wheel drive when it's raining.
Really?
It gets really slick. And I don't want to fishtail. I did that one time. And I was like, this is not a good feeling.
I fishtail like 12 times in the winter every year.
Front wheel drive.
Yes, I fishtail. All the
time. Are you
time.
just whipping corners? It's like the Fast and the Furious.
I see the school bus coming down my neighborhood street. I'm like, gotta beat it.
Oh, no. Yes, and that's the plane we live with. back to chasing the planes.
That was a good transition back.
Right. So for this, just bring a fun deck, whatever you like to play. Seems like a pretty casual format. So
yeah,
no tips and tricks. This is just playing with the global effect in play from the start may help you more than others if you play lots like a variety of mechanics in your deck.
Yeah.
If it's more linear, it might not help you as much as it does other people.
Yeah. I'm
excited for this next one.
The Pinata Commander.
So this format seems really fun, and I'm banking on there being pinatas. I hope there's pinatas there. There's got to be a pinata, right? They're going to set them at those tables, right?
I don't know. Maybe. At least like a token of a pinata, which would be just as sought after, in my opinion.
Yeah, even a small pinata. Should we just bring a pinata in case we're disappointed?
We can go pinata shopping. We'll have some downtime.
There's got to be a party city in every city, right?
Well, Chicago is a party city, right? So we just like go up to a random person on the street and be like, you know where we can get pinata?
You know where we can get a pinata? They're going to be like, what do you need a pinata for? Just no questions asked.
You don't ask that question. You just point them in the direction of a pinata.
If you live in Chicago, will you point us in the direction of a pinata?
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. So this format begins with a pinata in play, and it has 25 life.
So the pinata is a player.
The pinata is considered a player in this format, and the object of the game is to reduce the pinata's life to 0. So to beat the crap out of it and take all of its candy, which is prize tickets.
Well, is that
you get prize tickets in this? Yeah. So you're going to take all of its prize tickets.
Thematically, what would magic candy be?
Magic candy? I would hope for packs of cards.
Okay.
Falling out of a pinata. That'd be great.
That's a good deal.
And if they really wanted to be, like top notch, they'd throw like a collector's booster in there.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be nice? You could, and then you dive for that one. You knock people out of the way diving for that piece of candy.
True. That's true. And then you open the pack and your brawl insert is a tap dual land.
Tap dual land. Which one is that?
Just like it enters the battlefield tapped and it.
Or you open it and it's the non-foil like Kenrith or something. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I want one of those.
One of the brawl commanders in non-foil, because those are in those, aren't they?
Are they in non-foil? Yeah.
Those are in there.
Yep.
So you can get like the Tulane or Alila, Corvold, Sir Gwen.
Yes.
So that's what would your candy be from your Magic Pinata? Booster packs? What's better? That's within reason, obviously.
Oh, so
it can't be expensive.
It can't be a pinata of LEDs.
No. I mean, I guess in your world where all fancy people play.
They're all fake LEDs.
No. I mean, I guess you could have some other things in there. Like you could have some dice, just loose dice.
Actually, turn downs. Like, okay, so I bought one of the
spin downs.
Yeah, I bought a bundle the other day because there was a sale at the store that I was at, and it comes with a jumbo spin down. I like that thing a lot.
Is it purple?
Yes,
that's what I was told. I haven't seen them.
I will show you.
Okay.
I plan on bringing it to CommandFestChicago, which is this weekend.
The spin downs would be a good idea to put in there. What else magic stuff would you put in a pinata?
No, that's probably it. But you don't want to put dice and packs on the same things, and your packs are going to get all dented. And you can't put packs in a pinata. All the cards are going to get bent and hit and destroyed.
Well, maybe they're in like hard plastic cases or something.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of a way to.
T-shirts, I guess. I don't own any magic clothing.
That's not going to fall out of a pinata easily. Well, look at this T-shirt that just fell out.
Well, like out of a T-shirt cannon. They like wrap it up tight.
So as you're beating the pinata, people are launching T-shirts from a cannon.
That would be awesome. It's a pinata gauntlet.
I do. I have the Planeswalker symbol shirt. The rainbow shirt from last year's charity drive for I can't remember the actual charity. They do it every year.
Okay.
And I think I donate, and Nick has the one for D&D.
Gotcha.
So and then I think I do have a shirt that says Gruel Smash.
That does sound like you.
It's from Ravnica.
That's kind of weird. It's like
I like blue-white, but in like standard or modern, I generally play like an aggro deck for the most part. I want to go eat snacks between rounds. That's just how I've always been. I'm gonna go eat some chips.
That's
See you guys in 30 minutes.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Playing, I used to play a lot of Control, and I did switch to Control for a little bit during some standard seasons there. And when you go to turns or to time every single round, it's a long day.
Mono blue Control mirror matchup Kaladesh standard. No, Amonkhet standard.
It's the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other, but it's just torrential gear hulks.
Yes,
that was that standard.
Yeah, it really was.
Well, for a few weeks, not the whole standard, but
no, that deck wrecked. It was riggedy wrecked. I played it 1 week and I felt bad. So,
so back to the pinata. Now that we know what we would want to beat out of a pinata, the object is like you reduce the pinata's life total to 0. Players can only attack the pinata, but anybody can block for the pinata. So it's 2 rounds. Everybody gets 3 prize tickets. But so this is an interesting format because you're all doing the same thing here, but now you can interact only during combat.
Yeah. And now we assume when it comes to blockers that it will go in the same priority as spells on the stack. So you could, like, someone swinging lethal at the pinata and you have a board full of creatures and each one of your other opponents has just like 1 creature out and be like, oh, I'm just going to pass priority. If you don't want to lose the game, I guess you're going to have to block with your 1 creature.
Oh, it's so mean. It's like that the game, I don't know if anybody else has heard of this. It's a card game called Kill Dr. Lucky, but it's very much like that, where you have to stop somebody who's about to win the game by discarding some resources to match this power level. And this is very much the same way, where you go, I'm not going to block, but you need to.
Yep.
Even if it's not favorable for you, we're all going to lose. Now, it could backfire, and that person could just go, okay, I guess the game's over.
They win.
But I think there's a lot of combat tricksy things that'll really make this format fun.
Definitely. You're going to have a lot of fun with this format. I am not, probably.
I do. Okay, so I know I talk a lot about... So I have 19 commander decks. I know I mostly... We've been playing for a few years now.
For sure,
and I don't like to disassemble. I just... if I need this card, I'll buy another copy now.
It's rough.
It is. So I do have like an Edgar Markov deck. I do have a lot of token decks. I have Omnath, Locus of Rage. I have Slimefoot. I have a few other decks that can go very wide very quickly. Yep. And, I think that those will do really well in this format. So I think cards like Fog Effects will be really good because you prevent all combat damage that would be dealt. So you can not block and fog. And then if someone else thought they were going to win, you can take the win on, like let's say you're going next. Or you can use cards that say prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by creatures your opponents control and block and wipe their board, but you still keep yours.
Yeah.
Other cards that would slow your opponents down, potentially, depending on the way you build it, would be, again, like Magus of the Moat. If you built an all-flying deck, you put that in. If no one else has flyers, only you can swing, and they're going to have to take out your resource. But in a format like this, you will need to still have removal.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you're not removing anything from the pinata, you have to be able to...
Well, it's what Nick said before we left today. It's like, overload Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah, at the end of someone else's turn.
That's nuts.
Because then you get free swings in on the pinata by yourself.
Hopefully you got 25 on board.
Or less. Everybody's going to hit. And the first few hits, I'm sure it's going to be, I swing for 1, I swing for 3, I swing for 2, and then the pinata's life's going to be real low, real fast. I don't expect this to be a long game, which is cool because you can play it a lot.
Yeah. And that's what they have. I mean, it's 2 rounds.
It is 2 rounds.
And that's probably why they did it that way.
Sure. Another card, at least one that I would like to play, is Awe Strike. And it's a card that has prevent damage that one specific target creature would deal. So you could, on the turn before, block a creature and allow maybe one of theirs to get through so that enough damage gets done to the pinata that you are now within range to take it out. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's not going to be all combat tricksy, but I really think it is. So
I think it will be. I'm just thinking...
Life gain doesn't matter. You don't need to gain any life.
But if you have a commander that can have target player gain life, like Kenrith...
I guess, you could the pinata get bigger again. That's crazy.
And then if someone starts...
What a way to play a game when you give someone else life instead of you.
Someone starts blocking, and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to give that guy trample so that the damage does come through, because that'll put it in a perfect spot for me on my turn.
And you got 5 colors.
Yeah.
I have a Kenrith sitting around. I guess I could build one.
We should all just build Kenrith decks.
Sitting around. I got a case of Throne of Eldraine, and at our LGS, they give out 1 promo per box. So I have 6 Kenrith. No, I have 5 because I traded you one.
You did trade me one. It's foil. I want unfoil. Unfoil? Non-foil.
I want it to be unfoil. Just rip the foil off of it.
I keep seeing things about these foil peels, and I don't want to try it.
I am too afraid to do those.
I know.
But so that is the pinata format.
Yes.
And obviously we're not going to go through every single format here. There's a few that are have a lot of support, a lot of content out about them right now. So in a way to avoid making this podcast 4 hours, we're just gonna mention that Brawl, Oathbreaker, and 1v1 Duel are also part of Command Fest.
Yes, this is 1v1 Duel, which
correct.
I made a mistake when I was looking up 1v1 rules. I looked up 1v1 Magic Online rules, which are not the same. Look up 1v1 Duel.
They do have special bannings. There's a complete... Well, they have banned as commanders.
Yes.
Like Urza, Yuriko, Zurgo, Bellstriker. We were looking at it, and I guess every time we looked at one, we were like, "Why is this?" Okay, I guess I can see why. So there's a lot of there's a unique set of ban cards for 1v1 Duel. But again, all of these are on the Pastime Games link for the actual event. All of the rules are there, and links to the external websites that have full summaries of how that format works.
And you're gonna have to follow us on Twitter to see those links.
Yeah, we're gonna post those tonight. And then the last unique one here is called Lightning Round.
Yeah. So this one, very intriguing.
So different.
So your starting hand size is 10 cards instead of the normal 7, and during your draw phase, you draw back up to 10 cards. And then during your main phase, you can play multiple lands.
So if you have a hand of like 4 lands or 5 lands or 6 lands and 4 spells, you can play 6 lands, and if you can afford to, play 4 spells, and the next turn you draw 10.
Hold on. Is Ashiok not Ashiok, is Ashling the Pilgrim 99 Mountains a super awesome deck now? On this turn, I play 10 Mountains, Ashling, go.
And I pump it twice on this turn, because you can't do them all on the same turn, because once you do it 3 times, you have to remove them all.
Yep.
But that would be really
No, it's fine.
Okay, so this deck that we're talking about is Ashling the Pilgrim and 99 Mountains. It's a real deck. If you want a real budget deck, play that. So basically, Ashling has pay 1 in a red. You put a +1/+1 counter on her. And then if you activate that 3 times in a turn, you remove all +1/+1 counters from it. You deal that much damage to each creature and each player. Mm-hmm. And so you would be guaranteed to be playing 10 lands a turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You play 10 and then 20 and then 30.
I think you just blow up Ashling every turn and just recast
No, because
her.
that commander tax is going to be too rough.
It costs 2 extra every time, and you're putting 10 lands out a turn.
I'm going to put my Ashling deck back together for this.
Yes.
I want to play this format every day.
And you're going to sit down, and there's going to be 3 other people all playing Ashling the Pilgrim. Whoever goes first wins.
Oh, are there any other commanders that just pump into themselves like that in a monocolored deck that you would want to just play lands? I don't think there is.
No, but I think this gives you a good opportunity to play like high CMC commanders that wouldn't normally be viable without super expensive ramp cards. So a deck that is near and dear to my heart that is unfortunately not together right now would be Kazarov Sengir Pureblood.
Sure.
He's like 7 mana total, and he is a 4/4 flying vampire that says whenever another creature takes damage, put a +1/+1 counter on him. And then you can pay 3 in a red to do 2 damage to target creature.
I play a lot of token decks and moved away from that strategy for a few months when that was the deck that you were playing a lot, because it wipes my board when I play. So I have a white-green Sigarda humans deck. Mm-hmm. I have a green-black tokens in Slimefoot, and then vampires.
Yep.
and then do I have another token deck? I feel like I do. What am I missing?
Slimefoot? Did you say Slimefoot?
Yeah, I said Slimefoot. Well, I know I have at least 3.
Yeah.
And those were the 3 that I think.
Hepatra.
Oh, sniggity little snakes.
Coming at you.
We're so sneaky. Yeah, I used to play that a ton as well.
Yeah.
That's been shelved for a bit. The new hotness, we've been playing with all that stuff. So I'm hoping. But yeah, no, I used to lose to that deck a lot.
And then
that'd be good to play in this.
And our friend Ryan would play elves.
Oh yeah, elves gets wrecked by that a lot as well.
But yeah, so any deck that you think would be like, you know what, this deck seems underwhelming in the normal commander format, but if you could just like ramp it out right away, then it would be super strong. You should consider playing that. And I think maybe landfall decks are probably pretty broken in this format.
Depending on how many lands you play, I guess.
If you're playing a landfall deck, you're probably playing a lot, but not necessarily.
I think in my landfall deck, I do play 40. And I don't know if I'm doing it right. But I probably should play more.
But then you can replace every single one of your extra lands per turn card with a land.
Mm-hmm.
In this format specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're building a deck specifically for this format.
Yes. If you're building for this, you can avoid playing cards like Rampant Growth and. No. You might want to play the ramp.
I was saying more like
burgeoning and what's it? Exploration.
Yep. Wayward Swordtooth.
Explore. Draw. No, that does let you at least draw, and you can play an additional land, but you don't care about the draw. You
only care about the draw.
You'd be paying 1 and a green to draw a card.
Right.
I don't know if it's worth it in this format.
No,
because you're drawing up to 10, so you probably don't care.
You are.
So you'd take out Explore.
So I mean,
I would.
Maybe this is the type of thing where you would want to play like blue-black control, and then you can Notion Thief people.
No, so Notion Thief is one of the meanest cards.
Yes, it is.
And it doesn't even have to be flashed out if it's just sitting out.
Mm-hmm.
Someone played it just casually the other day, and they weren't doing anything else. They just played it, and someone had just set up a card that would allow everybody to draw 1 or 2 extra cards at their upkeep.
Oh yeah.
And I mean that's fair, but the other person was like, I just spent 3 turns setting this up to be nice to everyone. They were playing like Group Hug, and the Notion Thief guy goes, yeah, I guess I'm drawing a lot.
Yeah, it's all my Group Hug.
Yeah. So this format should be fun.
Yeah, it should be. It should be fun as long as people, if people aren't building specific decks to break the format, it will be fun.
Well, I don't even know if you can break this one too much.
Because everyone gets to draw up to 10 every turn.
Because you get to draw up to 10.
Yeah.
So, and it's just at your upkeep. So it's not like it's a special. You draw 3 extra at it's just draw up to 10.
What if
draw back to your hand size difference, which is 10.
Mono Black Tutor, what's her name?
Marilyn of the Mornsong?
Marilyn of the Mornsong says players can't draw cards. Turn 1, Marilyn.
If you went 4th, that would be okay.
If you went first, you're a monster.
Well, if you went first, they're going to remove it. If you went last, they don't get to draw up to 10. They tutor for a single card. So if you were to do that,
that's true.
You would want to go 4th, I think.
No, that's true. That's very true. You're right.
But we don't want to do that.
You're right. Don't do
We're there to make friends in Chicago.
Only friends.
Not to make enemies. And then Brawl and Oathbreaker. Brawl, it's been live on Arena for a few weeks now.
Yep.
If you play it on Wednesdays, but they did have the pre-release event for some coins for gold. You could play. I played God Eternal Loketra a bunch. Got 5 wins with it. It is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do need the extra value in whatever commander you're playing. I did find that I got blocked by a lot of 3 mana planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Oko's good. The Royal Scions is good.
Yep.
If they land a planeswalker that can protect itself, it's really hard to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I felt very planeswalker centric. Like if you're not playing planeswalkers, it felt like you were doing it wrong. That was just my perception.
Yeah. I mean, and they did the one event. They did a Brawl event, and they had like 8 of the top 15 decks were Oko decks because Oko is Broco.
Yeah.
Especially in the standard format.
Make an elk.
You're an elk.
I want to Photoshop a picture of Oko as Santa, and then all of the reindeers' names are creatures. Like this was Judith the Scourge Diva, and then Hydroid Crisis. On Hydroid Crisis, on Judith, on you do the whole.
As long as his sack of presents is also just a bag of Elks.
Or just a ton of food sitting back there.
Oh, yes.
It's gotta be, it's the Christmas ham. No, the roast beast.
Ooh.
But that's what I think Santa has been up, like the OG Santa, Zedru, has been upstaged by Oko in this case.
You get an elk.
You get an elk. So those are the special formats that we want to talk about. If you have any tips and tricks that you want to share with anybody else, or if you want to send us a note, we're happy to share those. We're excited to play some of these formats. So drop us a note, like we said, if you have any additional comments or suggestions.
And shoot us a message if you're there on the weekend. And
we'll schedule something.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll plan some games. We're also gonna have some artists there. Aaron Miller, Jeff Miracola, and Tyler Walpole will be there. So get your artist proofs, prints, and signatures. I know that I want to get my Wilderness Reclamation signed.
Oh.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. I do like signed cards. I know they're not for everyone, but I like getting artist prints because on the back it's just an artist proof, so it's not a full Magic card. Those are really cool to have.
I have gotten a piece. I actually tend to go for the pieces of art that the artists
prints.
have. Yeah, I know the first Magic Fest I went to, I picked up a Liliana that was like Day of the Dead, which is tomorrow, Day of the Dead, and I thought that was cool.
Happy Halloween.
And then
trick or treat.
This last one, I picked up a playmat, which also happens to be a zombie.
It is
themed playmat with Liliana in the middle.
It was the SCG promos from a few years ago where it was all the planeswalkers were dead except Liliana's not dead.
Right. Which, if you haven't seen the Jace in that, he's eating his own brain. It's awesome.
Our segment's back. I'm excited.
Commander decks.
Explain badly.
Do.
Is that your prep for this?
That's just like that's our transition song right there to Commander decks explained badly. So we'll be badly explaining these Commander decks and trying to guess what each other has prepared.
Yes. We're guessing what deck it is based on the horrible explanation. Okay, so here, I'll go first.
Okay.
This deck has the most thoughtfully laid out plans, but they end up just being plain rotten.
Thoughtfully laid out plans that end up being plain rotten. It's a zombie deck.
No.
Oh. Plan. Scheming. Schemer.
That's not the word to focus on.
Give me a hint.
Okay. Focus on the word laid.
Thoughtfully laid out plan?
Mm-hmm.
Laid out?
Laid out.
Laid out.
Or something you would lay.
Something you would lay. Hawaiian?
Brian?
Brian?
No. Brian is not here.
I need another hint. I'm sorry.
Okay. She is protecting things.
Okay.
That's not a good explanation of the deck being explained. No, she actually doesn't. She just chucks them. She wants them to go away, but she's protecting it. I don't understand why.
Laid out.
But after a while, they get pretty rotten.
But after a while, they get rotten.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Andy. I don't know.
Okay, so it's a food that you can consume, but they could go bad.
But they could go rotten. Eggs go rotten? Eggs? Atlas Palani.
Well laid out plans.
Oh my gosh.
That are pretty rotten.
Oh my gosh.
I was so proud of that one.
That's a good one. I did not get that. That's a good one though. All right. Old man kills robots to make trinkets.
Is that Arkham Daxon?
Yeah, it's Arkham Daxon.
Okay. Okay, so this one is a really odd deck that I don't understand all that well, but it's riddled with good cards that make for a pretty uneven playing field.
Riddled with good cards that make for a pretty uneven playing field.
Yeah.
Does riddled have something to do with it?
Sure.
It's a Riddler.
It came with its question marks. That was the best Batman movie.
Yeah.
But before we go,
So it's Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's the
commander. That's the commander.
That's the commander, Jim Carrey.
Yeah. No, riddled with cards. It makes for a pretty uneven battlefield.
Uneven battlefield. So it is odds. It's the Sphinx.
Yeah, Enet.
Yeah,
Cryptic
Enet.
Sovereign.
Yes.
Yes, it's an odd deck that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I was excited for the riddled with the Sphinx thing. And
yeah, because I immediately thought riddle form. And I'm like, oh, riddle form. That's a Sphinx.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Crazy man makes things appear that make it so you can't do stuff.
Makes things appear so you can't do stuff. A crazy man.
Crazy.
That makes just things appear. That's creating tokens.
No.
Okay. That makes it so I can't cast things?
Makes it so, various you can't do stuff. And maybe he can do stuff. But mostly you can't do stuff.
I can and you can't?
But mostly you can't.
But mostly you can't. Are we... Give me some colors. Am I going to get it too quickly if you give me colors?
I don't know. Esper.
Things that...
Esper makes things appear. Crazy man.
Triplets? No. Esper.
Very popular commander, actually. But not in our playgroups.
Not in our playgroups.
No.
Okay. And it's not a Loro who just sits there in his chair and does nothing.
I needed a copy of a Loro to replace my Send Triplets because I never cast Send Triplets.
Right. Okay. Give me another hint.
Flying.
Flying, and I can't do things, but you can?
He makes things appear that make it so you can't do stuff. He is oftentimes played with a mono black combo card. The very popular mono black combo card.
Give me one more. Give me another hint.
I'm going to tell you the mono black combo card he's played with.
Okay.
Doomsday.
Oh, Zur the Enchanter?
Zur the Enchanter.
Oh, yeah. He does just make things appear. That makes it so that I can't do things. Yeah, that does work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let me find one more. And so you do one more while I find my last one.
Okay. So this is the one I was talking to you about before that I was excited because I think you're going to get it.
Okay.
One simple sentence. That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
That's a big 10-4. Is this Lazav?
No.
Okay, so you're not becoming a 10-4.
No. This is one of my OG commander decks.
That's a big 10. Oh, Lord of Tressorhorn.
You got it.
Lord of Tressorhorn. That's a good one.
The only 10-4 in commander. And the only 10-4 in Magic.
That's a big 10-4.
That's a big.
But
10-4.
how many creatures do you have to sack to make that happen?
You have to sack when he enters the battlefield. You have to sack 2 creatures and pay 4 life. I think it's 4 life. So yeah, I loved that deck.
That deck was good with what's the card that prevents ETB effects again? That you played in it at least.
Torpor Orb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much needed. For
you need it. You do need it.
It's really hard to get that commander out pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the end of our episode this week. So thank you all for listening. If you want to contact us, you can find us on Twitter you can find us on Twitter at GuardianPod. You can find me at ATFlory.
And you can find me at Squeaky Pig M.
Not MTG, just M.
Just M. I'm trying to fix it. I don't know Twitter.
Squeaky Pig. Also, take a look for hashtag Guardian Project Pod to find our posts and episodes. We'd like to hear from you, so send along your comments and any topics you'd like us to talk about, and we'll go over those in the next episode. You can also email us at guardianprojectpod@gmail.com. Have a great Halloween, and hopefully we'll see you at CommandFest this weekend.
See you this weekend.
Happy Halloween. Bye. Trick or treat.
Smell my feet.
Give me candy from your pinata and packs of magic cards.
Can we take all the
and all the lion's eye diamonds that Coyle wants?
Yeah, please give me all of them.
Pass those out. That's what we would like for trick or treat.
Yeah, lion's eye diamond,
treats.
please.
No tricks, just lion's eye diamonds.
Can we take all of your copies of Oketra's Last Mercy and shove them into a pinata?
I would be cool doing that. I 35 Oketra's Last Mercies people can fight over.
We can throw some neoforms in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.